Creationism Slayer 3000 is asking, several years ago, a friend of mine was diagnosed with cancer. And just last week, the doctors told him the treatment has run out and his time is very short. As an atheist and a materialist, I do not believe in any afterlife or reincarnation, and I'm finding the thought of my friend being gone forever very tough. Oh wow, this is a heavy one, right? How do you think about and cope with death and loss as an atheist? How do I think about death and cope with it as an atheist? Okay, so there's a couple of methods. I lost my mom, and there are a couple of things that could help. One, okay, and different ways of thinking works for different people. Okay, so I'm going to go through all of them. Hold on. Let me get something that I have ready for some moments like this. All right. First, here's the thing. I'm going to go through a few points, and some of them might not resonate with you, and some of them might even do worse than resonate with you. It might be like, well, that's even more horrible to think about it like that, right? But it's a list. So I'm going to go through the list, and the ones that don't resonate, you could just like, well, that doesn't help. And the ones that might help, you could just, focus on those. Right? So the first one that worked for me is that I do not cope. So you're saying, how do you cope with death and loss as an atheist? I mean, why should I cope? It's a loss. It's a tragedy. Let me grieve. One thing I notice is that when people go through a tragedy, instead of accepting the tragedy as something tragic, they try to numb the pain. But it's a tragedy. It's supposed to hurt. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you go through the grieving process and come out of it the other end. The more you try to numb the pain, the more you're going to be in the painful zone. Just grieve. Just understand that this sucks. Like there's no turning it around and looking at it in a positive way. Like a lot of people try to come up with these ways looking at it positively. There is no way. Like it's a horrible situation. You love this person and they're not here anymore. Like all this mumbo jumbo about like, oh, they're at peace now. They're not at peace. They're not alive. How could they be at peace? They do not exist. This was a person you cared for, and they're not here anymore. That sucks. Accept the fact that sucks. Life sucks sometimes. Okay? And like, oh, some atheists like, oh, their energy now. Their energy will remain in the universe, in nature. So does the energy of my fart. Okay? I do not just energy. Like, what are you talking about? Am I supposed to like have emotional feelings for my lamp? We do not love people because of their material or the energy that makes them. We are in love with them because of the way that the energy and matter comes together and forms them, not the energy itself. It's like saying like their energy and matter and their energy lives on is like as nonsense as saying like, well, why are you watching this movie and not that movie? They're both zeros and ones. Like, yeah, but these zeros and ones are in a form that I like, and those zeros and ones are in a form that I don't like. The energy that forms us is not what we're in love with. Okay, so that's nonsense. Don't try to dress it up. This is horrible. Just grieve. And this is what I hate. One thing I hate about religion: they try to dress up the grieving process. They, grieving is healing. Well, I just came up with that. Yeah, grieving is healing. Go grieve so you could heal. It's a painful, and you're supposed to cry about it. You're supposed to be upset about it. Just express that emotion. Don't you be like, oh, how could I make this more painful? You can't. Just go through the pain. Go through the pain. All right, so that might not resonate with you at all, because basically I said, how do you cope? I say I don't. There's no coping, okay? Life is supposed to be painful sometimes. Don't try to dress it up. Accept the pain. Let me see what else. I think that's all I have, actually. I don't like these other points. They're all dressing. Yeah, that's it. That's all I have. Yeah. It sucks. It just sucks, and it's supposed to suck. Just go through it. And okay, one thing I can add to that. Okay, one thing I can add to it is that, first of all, if religion had a better alternative, who gives a crap? It's not like a make a wish. Like, it's not like a genie. Like, it can't. It's like oh, I wish we didn't die. Okay, well, the universe doesn't give a crap about what you want. Maybe like, focus on the things. Well, no, do focus on this pain, grieve. Okay, but at the end of the day, the things that you cannot control are just that. There are things that you cannot control. Okay, do not try to. You cannot change. Like, if you cannot change it, accept it. Focus your mental energy on changing the things that you can control. For example, making this life really matter, given that we know it's the only life that we get. But what I'm saying is that, like, people say, like, oh, but religious people have this. They have this alternative. They don't go through the pain. They do go through the pain. They go through the pain even more because they have this drug called religion, and people, like, they don't go through some of them don't go through the grieving process like you're supposed to. That is healing. Okay, like, the idea of, like, oh, they're in a better place. Shut up. Like, this is not helping. Oh, their soul lives on. Shut up. I'm in pain. I don't need you to make it better. I just need you to understand that this is painful. You could help me grieve, understand that I'm in pain. You're not helping by trying to make it and even religious people that are like, when they're being told, even if they believe it, oh, they're in a better place, psychologically, you're supposed to be upset. These words, these words that you think they're comforting, they're like a stab in the chest. Oh, their soul, they're at peace now. Their soul is like blah blah blah. Shut up. Cry about it. And anyways. So religion is not helping in any form here, I think, all right? Because naturally, well, I mean, I don't want to do an appeal to nature, but I think it does psychologically helps if you don't nub it. Another thing is that even if, and this is a big if, okay? A beautiful lie helped, which it doesn't, okay? The lie that is religion is not a better alternative. You know what is good about the fact that your friend is dead? The good thing about it is that he's not roasting in hell, okay? Because that is the alternative that religion offers for the vast majority of the people on the planet, okay? My mom is dead, but you know what? Good. You know why? Good, because if she wasn't, she died as an atheist. And she would be screaming in pain right now as we speak. So I'm happy. I'm happy that my mom is dead. No, look at this. I don't agree. Like, okay, so Skyworks. So I don't know this guy. Okay, so Sky works. I don't agree with any of this, right? You're saying in the live chat, death is the big sleep where complications cease to matter. Okay, well, you're not. If you die, you're not around to notice that you have no complications. This is not comforting. When you're dead, you're not going to appreciate the fact that you have no complications. So this is not helpful. And here's another one. Sorry, I'm highlighting your comments as a way to crap on them, but I'm going to do it anyways. Okay, Skyworks 600 is also saying, sorry, I know. Okay, not to be too mean to you, but this, I do not agree with these, okay? You're also saying, we as beings enter time and space as representatives of a long succession of previous beings and the evolution of their thoughts and ideas. Be a part of the progression and advance. Okay, that's good. That's good. This is focusing on life, okay? We cannot, yeah, I agree with this, okay? We cannot control death. We can't control life. We can't control our life. So I don't know about what you're saying in the first part, but the second part is good. Like, I don't know what evolution, you're saying there, but be a part of the progression and advance of knowledge. Whatever, be a part of something meaningful to you. Okay? Make this life count. I think a lot of us atheists should take death more seriously. And we should take death more seriously because we take life more seriously. Death to us is final, and that means that we are capable of appreciating life the way it should be appreciated. Because as comforting you might find eternal life, you're being robbed if you believe in that. You're being robbed of how meaningful this finite life is, of how much every second counts. And if you just get a few years of extra comfort, just thinking like, oh, I'm going to continue living in heaven, as if that's a guarantee, as if the hell is not part of the equation, that comfort is not worth every second that you did not appreciate because you didn't know that this is the only chance you get at happiness. Anyways. Secular, okay, so Ibn Qayyim tagged Secular Jihadists to saying, Ibn Qayyim, sorry, saying even sadder than death is the fact that many people's lives, okay, let me read this again. Even sadder than death, than death, I think you're saying, is the fact that many people lives, okay, it's hard to read when the grammar is not good. Many people live their whole lives in absolute misery and then die, whereas others live very fulfilled lives and then die. Let me think about that. Their lives in absolute misery and then die. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, so here's another thing that religion claims to fix, and it's just not true. Okay, life is not fair. Like, there's no afterlife to make unjust things just. Okay, and I think that religion has broken a lot of us to think that the universe is supposed to be fair. The universe is supposed to be just. Okay, like somehow some things need to be fixed somehow. All wrong, like evil people going on. Imagine evil people living really, really good and happy lives and then dying happy people. Well, that cannot be. They were horrible people. Well, guess what? No, they just lived lives better than you and me could ever even dream of, and they never paid the price. Who says it has to be otherwise? The universe doesn't give a crap about us. Here's another thing. Oh my God, I'm glad I realized this. Thank you, Ibn Qayyim, because this made me realize that this is important, okay? The fact that the universe doesn't fix things, the fact that the universe doesn't make unjust things just, doesn't make unfair things fair, means that we have to. There is no great plan. There is no laws of the universe that fixes, that punishes evil and rewards good. It's up to us. The great danger of heaven and hell and karma is relying on a universe that doesn't give a crap, and just putting that responsibility, removing it from our shoulders and putting it on something. You might as well, you put it on the universe. You might as well put it on a piece of rock. So it's not just about appreciating life. It's also understanding that it's only up to us. No God, no karma, nothing. And as much as that might suck, knowing that is important for us to focus on the fact that that we have to make things better, given how much things suck. Saying death is a complete death is a complete state of unawareness. The big sleep is a metaphorical. You misread, but that's okay. No, I understood you were being metaphorical. I know you understand that. I didn't have so I didn't. My issue was not with the sleep part. I understand you don't really think death is sleeping. I understand that. My issue was with the fact that the part that people are like, oh, all your worries go away. It doesn't like that part. The part, like the fact that all your worries go away is not much comfort, knowing that you wouldn't be around to appreciate the fact that your worries have gone away. That's the part that I was picking at, not the sleep part. If you'd like to send me your questions for me to answer during our Q&As, become a patron. If you would like to have a discussion with me live on air at the end of the Q&As, become a YouTube member. Link to both is in the description. Thank you for your support.